it burns!
Rescuers are desperately trying to free a man who has become stuck in an earth pit in East China. The worker is buried up to his chest. He had been laying pipes for a new sewer system in China's Anhui province, along with a colleague, when the earth above them shifted. The other worker managed to escape the falling dirt, but he was covered. The rescue operation was especially tricky, as the earth was loose, meaning the worker was sinking as if he was in a swamp, as if he was in a swamp, as if he was in a swamp, as if he was in a swamp.
No! Not into the pit!
After 2 days trapped underground, this miner has been pulled to safety. He's one of 2 men rescued after the coal mine they were working in central China was struck by flooding, struck by flooding, struck by flooding, by flooding. The flood is believed to have been caused by a mining blast on Tuesday. "31 miners managed to escape uninjured, while 5 were trapped."
No! Not into the pit! It burns!
It's still unclear just how the NYU student ended up stuck between 2 buildings, but NYU began searching for missing 19-year-old Asher Vong Tao Sunday morning. They narrowed down their search by analyzing the usage of his student ID. Now that's when university public safety search teams went out to look for him, and they found him wedged between a 17-story residence hall and a 5-story garage. One of the members of the search team heard moans between those buildings. Officials say the space is somewhere between 6 and 12 inches wide. Firefighters had to break through 3 layers of cinder block to remove him from that tight space. Vong Tao was conscious throughout the rescue and transported to the hospital in serious condition. The rescue took about 90 minutes, but for his friends who had been pushing authorities to find him, it was an eternity. 3690, 3690, 3690.
No! Not into the pit!
Vong Tao's father has been tweeting. His last tweet reads, "He's in good spirits. His mother and I are grateful to God for this gift. Thanks for your prayers." The big question, of course, remains as to why and how he ended up wedged between those 2 buildings. 3690, 3690, 3690. He's in good spirits, spirit.
No!
A young boy has been rescued after falling down a manhole in East China. The boy is thought to have slipped into the uncovered sewer on his way back from school. But he was quickly discovered, and firefighters lowered safety ropes into the manhole and soon pulled him out to safety. The boy escaped the accident with only minor injuries, much to the relief of his mother, who stood anxiously watching the rescue operation.
No! Not into the pit! It burns!
Getting stuck, it seems, is serious business in China and often takes more than a bit of washing up liquid to wiggle your way out of. Take this 2-year-old boy in the country's Henan province, for instance. He accidentally fell into a deserted well and found himself stuck 10 meters below the ground. And it took the local fire crew to get him out. Luckily, they were alerted immediately, possibly by Lassie, probably not though, and they arrived on the scene within half an hour. They first supplied the boy with oxygen through a tube to prevent asphyxia, and then one of the firefighters managed to squeeze himself into the well, which was reported to have a diameter of just 50 centimeters. The firefighter, along with the boy, were then hoisted to safety by a rope attached to his waist. Medical workers at the site said that the boy had suffered some scratches but was otherwise okay, and was later sent to hospital for further examination.
No! Not into the pit!
A crowd of people are forming. Firefighters are on the scene and we're in China. It can only mean one thing: a child is trapped. Yes, this little girl here has her head caught between two railings. Of course, she was freed with ease and escaped unharmed. Now, we've been bombarded recently with many images of children in the country getting trapped in all sorts of bizarre places. Whether that be in between walls, down wells, or trapped in washing machines. Oh, children of China, do take care.
Let's open up this pit!
No! Not into the pit! It burns!
Story tonight, a dramatic and very unusual rescue south of the valley. A little girl in the hospital right now after falling into a septic tank. It happened near the city of Maricopa, and two men jumped in to save her from drowning. ABC 15's Lauren Vargas talked to one of those rescuers. She joins us now live at the scene. And Lauren, I can't even imagine what was going through their minds before they jumped into that septic tank.
Yeah, Stephanie, and one of those men is Henry Ricketts, who tells me he didn't even think twice before jumping into this septic tank after the little girl. You can see it's all taped off and boarded up now, but that definitely wasn't the case earlier. Witnesses tell me this little girl was walking around here at the swap meet with her mom. When she stepped on the lid of the tank, it buckled and she fell in. She was under for several minutes, and it took two men to finally get her out. Now, we talked to one of the men who jumped in about this experience. What was it like jumping into the septic tank? People are going to want to know.
Horrible, nasty, and I can't describe that. It's the worst feeling ever.
Now, that little girl is recovering tonight at Cardin's Children's Hospital. And as far as Henry, he wants you to know he was actually released from prison a couple of weeks ago and is determined to turn his life around. And Stephanie, seems like he's off to a pretty good start.
Yes.
No! Not into the pit!
Now to a game of hide and seek gone very wrong. This picture kind of tells it all. A little girl emerging from a washing machine after getting stuck in there for 90 minutes. A claustrophobic nightmare. How did this happen and how did they get her out? ABC's Rena Nanu is on the story.
It started as a simple game of hide and seek and ended in a rescue operation.
I have an 11-year-old daughter. She is stuck in a washing machine. Don't ask me how.
Determined to beat her sisters and cousins, 11-year-old Trinity Rhodes hid inside the washing machine and was stuck.
She was hanging out of this part right here. I could only see from about here up, and she was quite panicked.
At first, the kids employed their own rescue tactics before notifying any adults.
They didn't want to be in trouble.
So the kids pre-treated her, so to speak.
So they got some butter, rubbed her up with butter, put peanut butter on her.
There was even a rinse cycle.
They tried ice, and then she was cold, so they put warm water on her.
It burns!
Eventually, the local fire department had to be called.
The patient's been in there 45 minutes. She started to panic, complaining of a lot of pain, troubles breathing. Now we've got to just cut her out.
After 90 minutes, she was finally freed.
Let's open up
the pit!
We begin tonight with some new developments in a story that we've been following since yesterday. Bystanders help save the life of a little girl after she falls into a septic tank while walking with her mother. Tonight, for the first time, the woman who gave the girl CPR and mouth-to-mouth is talking about what happened.
She just looked done. Yeah. But she wasn't done. She had lots left in her, I guess. So we just had to get it out.
Of course, we now know that Chelsea was able to get that little girl breathing again. Officials tell me that little girl is recovering, but may be here for several days, so doctors can keep an eye on her.
No! Not into the pit!
A Georgia woman says she is still in pain and embarrassed after becoming the victim of an apparent practical joke. She says she was glued to a toilet seat at a Home Depot.
I'm a grown woman that can't even set up. I was stuck probably over an hour.
Her sister captured her rescue on camera. The woman says her pain is not only physical, but mental, confused by the choices local paramedics made.
I couldn't understand why they weren't just taking me to the emergency room and having the doctor remove it.
Paramedics used DW-40 to try to remove her skin from the toilet. A spokesman for Home Depot told WSB-TV the company has left 2 voice messages for the woman, as well as sent her a letter. A third-party claims adjuster is now handling the case. The local sheriff's department is conducting a criminal investigation.
Let's open up this pit!
No!
When Tim Rutledge left his Florida home and headed north, he knew it would be cold, but he never imagined his trip would end like this. The truck driver was hauling a load to Indiana, and in the extreme cold on Monday, his brakes froze in the snow.
After the truck sitting there all night, I was pretty confident it had settled all it was going to settle.
So he climbed under his tractor trailer to try to fix the problem.
But it sank faster than I could move on the ice, and it caught me and it pinned me. I was on my side.
A simple repair turned into more than 6 hours, trapped in sub-zero temperatures, trapped in sub-zero temperatures, trapped in sub-zero temperatures.
And once I recover, I'm going to Disney World.
Now, when rescue divers set off to explore the wreckage of a ship off the coast of Nigeria earlier this year, they were on a mission to recover dead bodies. It was assumed that none of the crew of 12 could have survived, but amazingly, one man, Harrison Okene, was still alive, and the moment he was discovered was caught on camera.
No!
Yes.
All right, just keep him there and keep him calm, okay? All right, just reassure him, pat him on the shoulder.
Harrison Okene, desperately cold and frightened, had survived in an air pocket for 2.5 days. And now, the challenge of getting him out.
Okay, just reassure him, give him a thumbs up and reassure him. Okay, reassure him, keep reassuring him.
Mr. Okene was given an oxygen mask and a harness by the rescue team.
We're putting the hat on so you can breathe, okay? All right, now you mustn't panic, eh? You must listen to me, all right? All right. We're going to take you in the water, and we're going to take you to the bell. We're going to take you in the water, and we're going to take you to the bell. We're going to take you in the water, and we're going to take you to the bell, to the bell, to the bell. Okay.
Extraordinary story there. Now.
No!